All right, so if you're serious about a career in digital forensics, you're going to hit a fork in the road. And on the signposts are two acronyms, GCFE and GCFA. Now, these aren't just letters. They represent two really distinct paths. And believe me, picking the right one can shape your entire career. So let's get right to it. Are you a detective or are you a hunter? Let's figure it out together.
So let's start with that very question, just to get our heads in the right space. Do you see yourself as a digital detective? You know, the one who shows up at the scene, carefully dusting for digital fingerprints and piecing together exactly what happened? Or are you more of a threat hunter, proactively stalking adversaries through the network, trying to find them before they strike? Go ahead, pick one. Hold that answer in your head, because it's the key that's going to unlock this whole thing for you.
Now, both of these certifications live inside the world of DFIR, that's Digital Forensics and Incident Response. This is basically the front line of all of cybersecurity. These are the folks who parachute in when things go bad. They're the ones who figure out how the attackers got in, what they stole, and, most importantly, how to kick them out and slam the door shut. It is an absolutely critical, high-stakes field. Okay, so to help you figure out this big decision, we've got a really clear roadmap for this explainer. First, we're going to take a deep dive into Path 1, the GCFE. Then we'll explore Path 2, the GCFA. Once we've got a handle on both, we're going to put them side by side, a real head-to-head comparison. And then we'll wrap it all up with a simple way for you to make your final choice. Sound good? Let's go. First up, let's talk about Path 1, the GIAC Certified Forensic Examiner, or GCFE. This is all about becoming that digital detective we talked about. You're the specialist, and your crime scene is the most common one on the planet, the Windows operating system. So who is this really for? Well, think about your first responders on a cybersecurity team, or law enforcement agents who need to pull evidence off a laptop. It's also perfect for IT pros who need to figure out what the heck happened on a compromised Windows server. It's really an intermediate level cert, which makes it, honestly, the perfect launchpad for a solid career in forensics. And what's really cool here is the laser focus. I mean, look at this. Every single piece of this pie is all about Windows. You're going to learn how to tear apart file systems to find deleted files, dig deep into the registry to uncover malware persistence, and trace every move a user made through browser history and system logs. This isn't just about knowing Windows. It's about learning how to make a Windows machine confess every single one of its secrets. The exam itself is a beast, 82 questions. But don't get hung up on the number. This is not about memorizing a bunch of facts. A huge part of this test are the Cyber Live Labs. This is where the rubber meets the road. They literally drop you into a virtual machine and say, okay, figure this out. It's designed to prove one thing and one thing only, that you don't just know forensics, you can actually do it when the pressure is on. And you've only got 3 hours to do it all. Now, technically the exam is open book, but let me tell you, that is probably the most misleading phrase in all of cybersecurity. With that kind of time crunch, if you're spending your time flipping through books looking for an answer, you are already losing. Success here is all about what's in your head and how fast you can find things with a perfectly prepared index. In the finish line, you need a 70% to pass. Now, that might not sound super high, but trust me, with the hands-on labs and the intense time pressure, that score really does separate the people who've truly mastered this stuff from those who just kind of know it. It's a tough but totally achievable goal if you put in the work. So, what's the reward for all that hard work? Well, with a GCFE, you're looking at an average salary around $86,000. And as you can see, that can climb way, way up. With experience, well past $150K. It's a certification that definitely pays off. But what if you want to hunt even bigger, more advanced threats, and maybe earn an even bigger salary? Well, that brings us to our second path. And that brings us to Path 2, the GIAC Certified Forensic Analyst, the GCFA. If the GCFE is our detective, the GCFA is the elite, top-tier threat hunter. This is the cert for tackling the most sophisticated, the most advanced adversaries on the planet. The audience for this one, it's a whole different league. This is an advanced certification for people who've been around the block. We're talking experienced incident responders, dedicated threat hunters, senior security analysts. And you know what's really telling? Even red teamers, the folks who play the attackers, they take this exam to learn how the best defenders are going to try and catch them. That's how you know it's legit.
The skills you learn here are absolute game changers. We are talking about memory forensics, analyzing a computer's live RAM. And why is that so important? Well, because the smartest attackers, they try to leave zero evidence on the hard drive. They live entirely in memory. Mastering this is how you find the ghosts in the machine, the attackers who think they are completely invisible.
Now, the written part of the exam has 75 questions. But at this level, they're not just asking for definitions. These questions are designed to test your theoretical understanding of really complex attack chains. They're testing your ability to think like a master analyst before you even lay a finger on a keyboard. But here is the real monster, and what truly makes the GCFA so respected. 7, that's right, 7 hands-on cyber labs. This is where you have to prove you have the skills. You get thrown into these incredibly complex scenarios, using advanced tools to hunt down sophisticated threats in real time. Honestly, it's less like a test and more like a simulation of a very, very bad day at the office.
The passing score is 71%. Okay, so it's only 1 point higher than the GCFE, right? But that one single point represents a massive leap in difficulty. With 7 of those tough labs, every single percentage point is earned with blood, sweat, and tears. And it proves you've truly mastered advanced instant response.
And what does that elite skill set do for your bank account? Well, the average salary for someone with a GCFA jumps to around $106,000. It's a pretty clear signal from the industry that mastering these top-tier skills comes with some serious financial rewards.
Okay, we've looked at both paths on their own. Now it's time for the main event. Let's put them side by side, head to head, to make the differences totally crystal clear and help you find your perfect fit.
You know, if you had to boil this entire thing down to just one idea, this would be it. The GCFE is all about foundational Windows forensics. That's the detective work. The GCFA is about advanced multi-platform incident response. That's the threat hunting. That right there, that's the fundamental difference you really need to get.
This table just lays it all out so perfectly. Look at the progression here. GCFE is your intermediate starting point, right? GCFA is the advanced level. The focus gets bigger, moving from just Windows systems to both Windows and Linux. The key skill evolves from that foundational analysis to really sophisticated stuff like memory forensics. And of course, you see that reflected in the salary, jumping from about $86K to $106K on average. So the bottom line is this. GCFE is for building your specialty. GCFA is for taking that specialty to the absolute elite level.
So, there you have it. We've laid out all the data, we've compared the two paths, and now the spotlight shifts from us to you. It's time to actually make your decision.
And here's a simple 3-step way to think about it. First, just be honest with yourself. Where are you right now, experience-wise? Are you building that foundation, or are you ready to tackle advanced stuff? Second, what do you actually want to be? A deep dive forensic examiner or a lead incident responder? And third, what does your company need right now? Your perfect path is right there at the intersection of those 3 answers. And hey, if you're still on the fence, here's the advice you'll hear from almost every expert in the field. Start with the GCFE. Build that rock-solid foundation in Windows forensics. Really, truly master the fundamentals. Once you have that under your belt, moving on to the GCFA becomes the totally logical and really powerful next step in your career.
So we are right back where we started, but now you have the full picture. The detective or the threat hunter. You've seen both paths, you've seen the skills you'll learn, and you know where they can take you. So the only question left is, which one are you going to take?